today I have the K&N high flow cold air intake for the 2024 and up Mustang GT and Dark Horse. Be a better performing intake, especially when it comes down to keeping the hot air out. It is safe to say that they are going to be flowing a lot better than your stock intake kit with a lot less restriction, as well as a bit more cooler air. What's going on, Team Lethal fans? It's Joe here with Lethal Performance, and today I have the K&N high flow cold air intake for the 2024 and up Mustang GT and Dark Horse. Now this kit here is designed from K&N to be a better performing intake, especially when it comes down to keeping the hot air out, as well as making a little bit more induction sound so you get to hear that V8 truly growl. Now this is going to differ a little bit from your standard S550 or S197 cold air intake kit, as many of you know these cars come with dual throttle bodies. With those dual throttle bodies, you're obviously going to have two different intake tubes, two MAF sensor housings, two filters, and of course double everything else to make it all connect and work with those dual throttle bodies. Now to touch back a little bit here, K&N's main goal with this intake kit was to have it perform better on your car than your stock intake system. K&N estimates that this will make roughly around another 18 horsepower and 23 foot-pounds of torque on your vehicle. Now it's always hard to pinpoint an exact horsepower and torque gain from an intake kit like this, but it is safe to say that they are going to be flowing a lot better than your stock intake kit with a lot less restriction, as well as a bit more cooler air, as it's going to be completely sealed off from the engine bay and drawing in cold air directly from the front grille. These kits come nicely finished with a gunmetal gray powder coating on the tubes, and then of course your standard black textured powder coating on the heat shield. The filters come standard in that red oiled finish. Now one big thing to note here is the removal of the carbon traps in these MAF housings, which is of course going to provide more flow, and was tested with just the removal of the carbon traps themselves without any changes to the intake tubes to make more power. So this is really just a cleaner way to delete those carbon traps without having to rip apart your stock intake. Now as you can see, this kit comes completely disassembled from K&N, but it's a super easy install. This kit comes with everything you're going to need to install it on the car, including the silicone adapters to hook the tubes up to the throttle body and of course to the MAF housings, as well as all of the hardware and the gaskets and tubes to install it on the car, so you don't have to worry about running out to getting any parts, any hardware, or any of that whatsoever. You can do this in your driveway in give or take about an hour or two, depending on your skill level and the tools that you have available. So now let's go ahead and take this intake kit over to our friends at RSA Race Solutions and get this installed on Jeremy's S650. Now that we're down here at RSA Race Solutions, we can go ahead and get started with the install of the K&N cold air intake kit. This shouldn't take too long, give or take about 30 minutes here. It's a really simple install, and K&N makes it super easy for us, supplying everything we need to install it on the car. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get cracking on it. And there you have it, guys, the K&N cold air intake for the 2024 Mustang GTs. Now, that was a pretty straightforward, simple install, nothing really too crazy involved. However, there are a couple things you will have to modify in your engine bay, but nothing that can't be reversed with a simple process. We want to give a special thank you to RSA Race Solutions for the install here on this car. If you guys have any questions or you want to get your hands on a K&N intake like this, click the links in our description, drop a comment below, or reach out to us at 561-753-8105. This has been Joe with Lethal Performance, and I'm out of here.